Hello everyone. So this is about the area of a rectangle and it's kind of easy. I was actually going to give you the activity for this if we were doing this in class, but well, we're going to skip that for now. So when you look at the shape, the rectangle, and you know how to find the perimeter, that's what we've been doing for the last couple of days. And this one is about the area. So there are a couple of things that you have to remember in terms of what area represents. So here you looked at how to cover a surface by counting the number of tiles you used. The term we use to describe this is area. So the two things that you need to remember of is that the area represents the inside. Remember, the perimeter, it represents the outside, the length outside of a shape or around the shape. However, the area covers what's inside of it. So in terms of the drawing wise, this is perimeter, whereas the area is just the inside. So that's basically the inside. So how to cover the inside or how much is used to cover the inside, that's the area. For the rectangle to be specifically, another thing that you need to know is the area of a rectangle equals then the length times width. And what you need to know for this one is the length is the bottom side. I don't care whether the length is a longer side or shorter side, the length is always the bottom side. And the width is then the vertical side, so up and down side, okay? And if you take a look at the next one, then it says in the rectangle below, each square is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So here, this square, that's what it's talking about. That's 1 centimeter here, that's 1 centimeter here. It's length by width, right? So this is the length and this is the width. So area of a square, just one square, is length times width, which is then 1 times 1. Therefore, it is 1. Now, something that you have to be very careful of is the unit. Now, the perimeter never had anything at the top right corner of the unit, let's say the meter or centimeter, kilometer. However, for the area, it has something called a square. So we read it as 1 centimeter square or 1 square centimeters. Then, if we take a look at this, the long way of finding the area of this big shape is just to count how many of these small squares are inside of the shape. However, that's a little too long. So what we can do is we can count how long the length is and how long the width is and then multiply those two together. So I counted the number of squares or the length side and then the length of the width side. And that happens to be 12 centimeters for the length and then the width happens to be 6. So for the area, which is the length times width, which is then 12 times 6. And using your calculator, then it becomes 72. Now, something again, the square. If you put just the 72 centimeter, then this basically tells me the perimeter. But here we're looking for the area, so that's going to be completely wrong. So when I give you an assignment and if you miss the square sign in your unit, then I won't take that as a proper answer and you will lose full marks for that. Okay, so be really careful with that. So the area of a rectangle can be found by multiplication of length by width. So area of a rectangle equals then length times width. Okay, so let's take a look at the example, and a couple of them I will do it with you, and then I will leave that to you for the rest. So for the first one, we have length of 6 kilometers. That's the horizontal side, side by side, left and the right side. And the vertical is the 4, so that's our width. And our area is then 6 times 4, the length times width, which is then 24 kilometer squared. Remember, right? It's the area, so it's always squared. Another one that I will do, and then if you take a look at it, this is the length, the 3 centimeters, because that's the side one, or the sideways one. And then 6 centimeter here is the width, because it is up and down one. Therefore, the area is then 3 times 6, which gives me 18 centimeters squared. So it's a very simple and very easy. You just need to remember one or two things that you're multiplying: length and the width and the square. Okay, so I really want you to complete this. Very simple. You will be able to finish this in like 2 minutes pretty much. You may say, I know this already, I don't want to do this, but remember, practice makes it better. I'm not going to say perfect, right? I'm not going to say perfect, but practice makes it better. And if you go to the next slide, it's pretty much the same thing. The only thing that will puzzle you a bit is this one, but let's see whether you can figure this out on your own, okay? And then the critical thinking, now it says the amount of fabric to cover a wall. So if this is the wall, in order for you to cover it, it needs to cover the inside. So think about what this one represents between the area or the perimeter. The number two, then it says the amount of chalk stripping needed to outline a soccer field. So if I have a soccer field in a rectangular shape like this, and I need a chalk strip to outline it, then I will outline this way. Now then, would this green highlight represent area or a perimeter? So think about that one too, okay? That's it pretty much. So this lesson is quite quick and easy. After you finish this, please play Kahoot that I will put it up along with the lesson worksheet and the answer key to this one. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.